Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. This is Alanon of Riverwood, aka AOR. Tonight's going to be a little bit of a different kind of a stream. It's going to be a little bit more of a long form stream, but I think tonight, I really do believe that this might be the turning point of this survival run. I believe we will be getting more into the thriving aspect. The cabin's finally starting to feel like a real home, but Olympus is getting more dangerous every time I leave the base. Storms, of course, are getting worse. They're getting stronger. Resources are getting harder to move. And I'm realizing this place really doesn't want me getting comfortable here. So it's been a challenging aspect, but tonight we're expanding the homestead, doing some hunting, fishing, of course, preparing for bigger expeditions, better missions, hopefully surviving long enough to keep this place standing. And I wanted this series to feel peaceful. But the deeper that I get into Olympus, the harder survival becomes. So settle in, grab your favorite beverage of choice, and let's see if we can survive another night out here on Olympus. I'm going to be starting off this episode with a bit of hunting. I've got all the things I need. Whoa, I just shut the door in my face. I got everything I need. I just need to head south. Ooh, wolf right off the bat. And a boar. I'm going to be grabbing all the bones. We need epoxy like you would not believe. That was a good shot. And I've got food. I've got water on me. I've got some basic supplies. I've got a couple bandages. But we definitely need epoxy. And for that, I'm going to need a lot of bones. Heaps of bones. All the bones are going to be needed for what comes next. And then we're going to make our way into the desert biome. I've got a fishing pole with me as well. Ooh, and before I get too far away from home base, I want to make sure I have the fisher's module. I do. Okay. So I'm going to keep the fisher's module on me because I need that for the fishing spot in the desert biome, believe it or not. But what I'd like to know is if I have that other module for 25% stamina regeneration, this guy here. So while we're traveling on foot, I want to make sure I keep this guy in here so it's being used. And then I'll keep the fisher's module handy, but we won't actually need it till the desert biome. So we are good. I'll bring the taxidermy knife with me, just in case we run into anything that we want to bring back. But I hope your guys' day is going well. It is a Friday afternoon. And I just didn't want to go out tonight. Just want to be able to stay home, relax, chill, enjoy the vibe. That type of thing. And this week wasn't like hectic or anything. I just feel like I need to rest and recover. I feel like this could be our first tame, if we really wanted to. This little juvenile Tyrannus could be our first tame of this series. But I'm sure the opportunity will arise in the future. I don't think we want to bring that guy where we're going. But if I can grab just all the bones, I probably won't do too many stacks of meat. We have food. I'm not worried about food. It's really just we need all the bones. Hella epoxy is going to be needed for hella electronics. And if we want to turn this base and homestead into something that's going to thrive and last a long time and be our forward operation base, then we're going to need a lot of bones. So we're going to do all the hunting here. I'm just rocking the longbow right now. Nothing fancy. That guy spotted me. I'm gonna try and get a little closer. That wolf doesn't know what he's in for yet. Let's get this pronghorn. Grab all his bones. Okay, so that'll probably be everything we do for meat. All the rest of the meat we're going to drop it, unless it's bacon, of course. That is my favorite style to run. Mostly because you can stack it super high. Like, the fact that you can stack bacon up to 50. Pretty rad. As far as like food storage goes, it's the best in my opinion. There are a ton of animals in here. This is going to be perfect for what we need at least. Yeah, it feels a shame to be wasting the meat, but we can't use all of it. We certainly can't eat all of it. I'll keep some. I know spoiled meat will be good for our creature deterrent, which we need to make this episode. Creature deterrent will keep certain animals away, mostly the predatory ones. So if we do any animal husbandry in this series, it'll serve as our main primary deterrent to keeping predators away from base. So the moa, tyrannus, anything that can aggro on us, boar, all of that. We need to keep all of that away from us. Zebra right here. Another one coming up. Antelope. We are just dropping bodies right now. Yeah, this plain meat, raw meat, we can also use that to craft animal fat, which will be good for our candles. Keep our base well lit. Just a little bit of ambient light going. There's so many animals in here, it's kind of wild. That is the one nice thing about having accessibility to different biomes. At least with this build in this series, I'm really glad with the location that I picked out, because it's given me a really good variety to different animals, different biomes, different resources. And in this particular spot also has access to a lot of deep ore veins. That should be a good start. I'm going to grab some resources on the way back. We got no room. I'm going to drop sticks. And I'm going to drop fiber. Some of that rope, or excuse me, some of this leather can be crafted into rope. And it is a pretty common resource that's required for crafting. So I'm definitely going to take advantage of that. I'm going to say let's craft half-ish of it into rope. I'll grab some of the silica. And if there's room and I find salt on the way back, I think salt could also be helpful. I'd really like to get into explosive ammos. I think that would be really good. Must have missed this guy here. But yeah, the explosive ammo is going to come in handy for self-defense. The more elaborate missions we get into, the more elaborate adventures we go on, I think we need better ammunition for self-defense. Because right now I'm just rocking the bow and the basic bolt-action rifle. Which, don't get me wrong, it's been super helpful and quite necessary for me so far. But I think it would be a good idea to upgrade very soon. So I don't have room for this sulfur at the moment. Let me drop some stone. We don't need that quite yet. I'm going to drop this partial stack of meat as well. We've got quite a bit on us. And we obviously now know where to go if we need more. Drop that stone again. I'm going to head back to base, offload all of this, cut, sling, and load. We're going to go out, harvest some wood. We're going to need quite a bit of it for what comes next. I'd like to build a workshop that's separate from the actual living space. I'm really excited to take advantage of this gold deposit as well. And I think this episode, I'm going to be building a bridge. I think the land bridge from here to there, tie us into mainland, would be quite helpful. I just don't want to have to swim back and forth all the time. Oh, there's a piranha. Everything's trying to kill you in Icarus. I love it. Got some oxide back there. I'll know where to go if I need to grab more oxide. Okay, so I'm gonna get the lantern on in here for you guys. It's a bit bright. This side's pretty dark, so I'm gonna decorate this space a little bit, get a candle up on that corner back here somehow, and add a little bit more ambient light, because the lighting here looks pretty good. I'm a fan of how it looks so far, but yeah, we need some lighting back there. So I've got a fix for that. I've got a couple candles, nightstand. I'm gonna get the bed up in there as well. Let's go ahead and offload a tiny bit. Get some leather in there. We can toss the bones into here. Yeah, that was really good. That was a good run. Get some steel bloom. Toss that in. And then we'll offload the sulfur. Toss in the silica. I've got the drying rack out here. We're making more of this cured leather. We're gonna toss some of that in there as well. And then the fur. I took the liberty of getting the biofuel composter. I'm hiding it underground, so if you guys want a better look, I've got a few water barrels in there. And that's basically all the water storage that I'll use for this homestead slash base operation. So they hold quite a bit of water each. And biofuel, I'm going to toss in our fur. And then we've got quite a bit of meat on us as well. So the animal fat I've been using as like the primary source for my candles. So we'll start getting that crafted up. That'll craft pretty quick too. And I'm just going to offload the rest of the stuff into here. I'll probably cook the bacon. I'll let this stuff spoil. We're going to need more of that spoiled meat. And once that rope's done crafting, I'll have a better idea of how much leather is actually going to be left. But I'll let that do its thing. Okay, so we need a lot of wood. The workshop I'm planning to build is primarily going to be made out of aluminum. But for that aluminum base building set, you do need wood. So I'm going to go chop me some trees. You know, and in the 1,000 hours of playing this game, sometimes resource collection, it does feel a little bit grindy. But it is kind of a fun aspect of the game, and something that is kind of rewarding in and of itself. But I'm trying to, where possible, use passive collection of resources. And to kind of highlight that and proof of concept for you guys, if you guys need to see that, up here I've got this guy, the biofuel deep mining drill, pulling salt out for me. So the nice thing is it uses biofuel, and it just sits here and just grabs all that salt for me. So anytime you find these deep ore deposits, definitely take advantage of them. It's nice to get to the point where you don't have to be the one collecting all the resources. You can just kind of do it passively through that biofuel deep mining drill. And that's my preferred way to go. Obviously, you can spend, you know, hundreds of hours collecting resources, but I just think it's a smart way to go. So when you guys, if you play, especially for those of you who play, get to that stage, it is so nice. Spend more of your time adventuring, doing what you want to do. So let's get some sticks in there. We'll get that guy cooking. Save some wood. And then let's start looking at recipes. So I think I'm going to start off super simple. I'm going to do like a 3x3 floor plan with like my typical angled roof. So for that, I do 12 floor pieces and 14 wall pieces, 6 of the roof ramps. So I want to do this base set because I've got hella aluminum right now. So just need 14 of those, 6 of these. We'll do a door, and then 4 angled pieces. I'm not surprised that we had enough. To be honest, I figured we would. Yeah, I had quite a bit of aluminum in there. So that's that base build set. And then I want to build that kind of downhill where my dropship is. I think my girlfriend just got home from her work. She's on lunch break right now. So I'd like to put this base down here. So this will be the workshop area. And I've got quite a bit of resources in here that we can use. So I'm gonna grab the floor here, and we're gonna expand this way. Because our workshop's gonna be in this space. And I'm hoping it looks like I want it to. So I'm thinking of putting it here. And that is definitely enough room. Expand out a little bit. Really in either direction. Okay. So this is like a kind of spur of the moment concept here. Okay, so I'm thinking this will be where I put everything up. This is going to be a doorway. We don't need any windows on this. It's really just going to be our workshop. It doesn't have to look super cozy and nice. Again, this is the garage space, really. And then I think I'm going to go roof up. Could do a window here. How about that? Window there, window there. And then let's get our 4 pieces up. There, there, and then our angled wall piece or roof. Allegedly, this is also tier 5, so if everything goes as planned, tier 5 storm rolls through, we should be okay. Problem is I only made 1 door. And we're going to need 2 doors. But this is the workshop. That's where all the crafting stuff's going to go. Because I want this space up here to be the most cozy, lived-in, immersive spot. This is where I'm going to be cooking, sleeping. So again, I want this space to really just tie in well. Tier 3 storm coming. Not a moment sooner. And I'm going to start pulling out some of these items. I really want this space to look like I would want to live here. Okay, so that's my bed. Here's my nightstand. Yeah, looks good. I think a nice shelf right above that really helped tie that space in. And then let's get some animal fat. in that candle. Hi. How's it going? Yeah. How's work going? Yeah. Sorry guys, I'm just gonna say hi to my girlfriend real quick. Pardon the stream. You're welcome. Pardon the interruption, folks. Just had to say hi. Okay, so this storm is pretty loud, raging outside. I think that space looks really good now. I think moving stuff down into the workshop is what's on the menu next. And we can top off this biofuel can as well. Wow, that storm is loud. If that's too loud for you guys, I really do apologize. I'm still sorting through the audio portions here. Okay, let's toss in burr. And it looks like we need more tree sap. Start making our epoxy. Got some floor pieces. We can toss these in here for now. More bacon to cook. I'm gonna salt this so it doesn't go bad. That's looking really good. Since it's 22:44, we can go ahead and sleep. So that's what it looks like without the lantern on. So still pretty dark until the sun comes up and more of that natural light comes in. Which is kind of why I'm thinking I would like to do like either a glass roof here at the top and maybe even one of these, or maybe even two of them. The sky's the limit. It's kind of an evolving space though. It's like, for me it's really fun because the space is almost like alive. I get to like treat it like it's its own thing, breathing, living thing, and it's gonna kind of evolve and adapt to whatever we need this space to be for us. Should check that audio. Make sure it's not too loud for you guys. That is really loud. Yeah. Hopefully that's a little bit better. Okay, so let's get our tree sap in there. That'll help get us more biofuel. That looks good. So we have a few of these cans. And I also have a couple of these drills. So it'd be really nice to find, I think iron would be like really high on that priority list. So we'll get some iron going, deep mining. And then we're gonna go, as soon as this storm's over, we're gonna go hit the desert biome. Try fishing over there, see if I can catch a PB. Personal best record for any of those species of fish. I'm feeling pretty confident though. We have the fisher's module, and I have a decent pole with a really good lure on it as well. I just need to make sure I grab that tackle box before I go, because if I forget that, I'm going to be a little bummed. And then I think it would be fun to make a couple more of these trophy mounts. For that I need iron nails. I'm just going to steal some from my masonry bench. Make some more of these. I think 3 is a good place to start at. Toss those nails in there. I really want like another place to put these rustic candles. Like I'm almost thinking like a another shelf maybe somewhere in this space. I don't know, what would you guys do? Should probably also pop out the chat. I'm gonna pop that chat out for you guys. Pop out chat. There we go. Boom. So I've got the chat popped out now. Go. Yeah, and hopefully that keeps things a little bit more interesting. Feeling pretty good with that. Let's put that back. Pull the chat out. There we go. Okay. Yep, long form streams can be a little chaotic at times, but what can you say? So I think with this front area, I was debating whether or not I would do like garden in here, but I actually think the garden would be better served back here. I just don't want to obstruct that view at all from like this kitchen area. I just want it to look just like that. I don't want to alter this space too much outside of here. I just don't want to look out this window and see like buildings or really anything. I just want it to be like as pristine and as much of itself as possible. So that's the goal. Everything else, all the eyesores can be back here. I'm totally content with that. So I might even do like think of like a terrace style of garden area. It's gonna look pretty rad. I've never done it. I've not done most of this. So in the 1,000 hours I've been playing, I wanted this to be like uniquely its own experience. So this is the garage workshop area. Aluminum based building set really helped tie that in. So I'm gonna start moving stuff down there right now. Everything I've crafted, trophy benches. I'll take the fabricator down there eventually. I'll put the oxide dissolver, advanced textiles bench, our cement mixer, all that jazz. All the new things I'll be making, I'll move that in there as well. I kind of want to keep the decoration bench up here. Put the furnace down there. All the eyesore stuff. Oh, and I got these doors crafted. So we can replace these doors. I think they look better, personally. Just get that in there. Yeah. Looks really good. It's the steel barred. So it's got a little bit better rating to it. Yeah, it looks good. It's a little more robust as well. Yeah, that looks good. I feel pretty happy with that. And that was the same style that I went with here as well for the trapdoor. I just wanted it to look like aesthetically pleasing. You might think it's weird to have a trapdoor right there, but I definitely don't want to have to look at this thing. I just want it to be tucked away. So, same goes for the water storage. I want it to be a little bit inconspicuous. Let's go ahead and take some of this stuff down there. I'll come back, grab things like carpentry bench, masonry bench, fabricator. It's going to be, you know, it's going to take time. But the reason I want that creature to turn is I want these guys to not be up here. I want to avoid anything that can aggro on this space and damage my building. Especially if I do animal husbandry in the future, I want to avoid all of that stuff as much as possible. So let's get some benches up. I'm really glad that the ground that's terraforming, not terraforming, but like sticking out into the base. I'm glad that it doesn't obstruct where I can place things. Trophy bench. I actually really enjoy that you can actually make trophies in this game. I wonder if they stole that from Rust. Let's do cement mixer right here. This just actually, I don't know. Personal preferences, obviously. You can kind of do this however you want to. But I feel like a lot of this industrial equipment looks a lot better inside of this industrial building. So again, personal preferences, but I do love the way this looks. I am a huge fan. Oxide dissolver, that's going up as well. And I think the fabricator will probably go on this wall here. I'll get some iron cabinets up in here for storage. I also really like that this building creaks a little bit and it sounds metallic. It's the little nuances that the devs added to the game that really make it feel way more immersive. It's what keeps me playing after 1,000 hours. I'll probably hit 1,100 in today's gameplay. I was doing quite a bit of work before you guys were welcomed to the stream. As you can see here, I've been putting in some work. Just sorting out resources. I don't know if I'll actually use the furnace. I might put that back up into orbit. It's only really helpful for like the beginning stages, and after that it's not really a necessity anymore. Toss that in there. I really want to use that rustic candle in this space, I just don't know how to yet. We got some more leather even still, so I'll craft the rest of that into rope. Here's everything I've made so far that I thought would be critical for what comes next in this space. So I think electricity, guys. I think electricity is going to be the next big thing that I do for the base as a whole. And I need platinum sheath to start making these batteries. Problem is I don't have like a battery room. I could put it in the floor. There's rate. Yeah, I would say there's probably space for 2 of those batteries. Optimistically. We'll see. I think it'll work in that space. It's not a lot of room, mind you. But that is what's next. So, I'm talking solar panel, windmill, I'm talking lights, electricity, flowing water, the whole 9 yards. But I do have some platinum, so let's go ahead and craft some platinum sheath. And that's the last component I need for these batteries, so let's scroll down here a little bit. I think another aluminum door would also be quite handy. I'm gonna swap out the door that I just put up in that room. Where are you? Here you are. So the door requires 4 aluminum, 6 wood. I'm gonna chop down more trees. Actually, no, I've got some wood. I've got some wood. Here we go. Aluminium. Yeah, that space is gonna look really good. And I'm totally content too with how it's gonna work. Ooh. I think platinum lightning rods would probably be the smartest evolution next. We can start harvesting some of the electricity passively. And especially with how crazy these storms have been getting. If I could do 2, that'd be great, but I might just have to do 1 for now. This is a crowded space. There we go. I'm gonna toss some of these in here for now. Okay, furnace is going back up into orbit. We can do that on the way out. And then I say we just hit the desert biome. So let's drop down. We'll upload this into the pod. I'm gonna grab the tackle box, that's coming with us. We have food, we have water, we have everything we need. We'll be good. So, something that's uniquely interesting about where we're headed, after doing some research, it seems like this particular lake, if you look at the map, A13, B13, I'll pull that up for you guys in just a second here. But this body of water, located right here, A13, B13, this has the highest spawn rates percentages for fish. Especially the highest for uncommon fish. So I did craft a couple of lures. Let me make sure I have them, because I don't want to run all the way out there and realize I don't have them. That is a long way to go. So I've got some like generic lures here, but then on my actual fishing rod, I think it's the poison sack, right? Poison sack lure. Yeah, poison sack lure, 80% chance to catch rare fish, 10% caught freshwater fish quality, and then plus 20% weight of caught fish. That's just for fresh water. So the one that I have here, dog tag lures, rare fish, saltwater fresh fish quality increased by 10%, and then 20% additional weight for the caught fish. So we want to bring that guy with us, because that is a salt water body after all. And then I do have this black wolf lure. I had to kill the world boss to get this made, but essentially I like it because it can go either way, fresh or salt water, but essentially it gives you 35% additional weight for the caught fish of whatever it is you get, and then an additional 20% capture zone size. So I thought regardless of wherever we end up going, this would probably be the most handy lure. So I'm going to bring that with us as well. And I'm going to let that spoil in there. I think that's a lure requirement as well. Probably bone, probably leather. So I'm good with that. And I'm going to toss all this rope we made into there as well. And then we'll take our tackle box with us. I'm going to drop one of these lures in there. I think I'm going to drop the poison sack, because that's mostly fresh water anyway. And I'll keep these two on me. We can use them interchangeably, I suppose. And then let's grab this guy. Oh, wait. The pearl dino. So this is maxed out. Using the fisher's module and that poison sack lure, I caught 100% quality pearl dino, so it is a rare fish. 1,000 millimeters, 10 kilograms, freshwater, rare. I'm going to put this guy on display. And I'm going to do that before I go, because I know it's going to spoil, and I don't want that to happen. So let's grab this guy here. And this bad boy is definitely going above the bed. I'm going to center it on that shelf that I did. Yeah, buddy. That looks so good. That's a big fish, too. I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. Man, yeah, this space is starting to look a lot more homey in here. I can tell you that. Yeah, I'm a fan. Okay. We're finally on our way. Close all this up, make sure nothing happens to it. And then I really want to build this bridge. I've got the space. I'm going to do it. I think the tricky thing about this bridge is going to be the angle, because you kind of come in and out this way, as it is like a low spot. So that means then that I'll have to build a bridge high here, and then tether it to that little island there in the lake. I'm not sure how that's going to work out, but I'm going to figure it out right now. You guys thought we were going fishing. We're actually building a bridge. I'm gonna need wood and fiber for that. Pretty cheap. We'll come back and replace it with most likely stone. I don't think I'll do concrete in this series. I want to avoid, if possible. I feel like the concrete is just, look, after 1,000 hours of playing the game, everyone knows, like, limestone and concrete, they're the strongest materials in the game. There's no, like, there's no current debate on that right now. But it's like, it's too easy to just bounce back to what you know works all the time. And I wanted this experience to be uniquely its own. So in order to capture that experience, that's kind of the route I'm going. Let's lower this a little bit, not too low though. So I want to face this direction. So I'm using my mini-map, the UI at the top of my screen, to pick a good coordinate for my direction. So I want it to line up perfectly with that side. So I'm going to come back a tiny bit. Put a 4-piece down, going that way. And then I want a ramp coming down towards me. Like so. And then we want another 4-piece to be the bridge across to the other side. So it's going to look like that. So I'll get up, walk around to the side, and then continue that run. But that's how I want it to look. I don't want it to be ridiculously high either. And as you can see, that's already starting to crack, so we need to reinforce that, make sure it's structurally sound. There we go. You can get away with like 2 or 3 pieces before it starts to like really become an issue. So that's my second piece. Third piece starts to crack. I'm going to do a little bit more structural reinforcement here. A couple more pieces. And then I'll make probably, I'm guessing 3 pieces will get us across. And 2. I bet these 3 pieces will get us all the way to the end. Perfect. So we really just need one more post. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie this in to the ground. And notice the cracking is gone. It's because it's structurally sound now because it's a part of the ground. So that's our bridge to Terra Brifia. I'm just kidding. But no, this is our land bridge here. This is what we'll use. I think I want this to be stairs though. There we go. I love that. There's our bridge. And this will also serve as a dock that we can fish on. So that's super nice. And I'm going to prep this for saltwater with the dog tag lure. And we're going to make our way. I've got 3 food buffs going right now. Let's get a 4th one. Let's do one of these meats. There we go. That puts us at 915 health. Gives us some decent stamina. And we could grab bones on the way there and back. We will obviously need all the epoxy. Guys, I can't stress that enough. But the recipes that are coming next are going to be super hungry for epoxy. The most expensive things to craft are going to be requiring all the epoxy. So I'm going to drop one of these buffies here. Second buffy. Nothing aggroed on me. Oh, these guys have hella bone too. I'm gonna grab all of that. I'm gonna drop the meat. We're not taking any of that back with us. Can't use it. Through the eyeball. Drop that. Drop that. Okay. Let's see if we can make some headway here. Hopefully avoiding the world boss. There's a couple of them out there in the desert biome, in fact. And I'm hoping that we can be kind of careful about how we get out there. So right now there's just the one One of these will kind of mosey on down through here sometimes, but I'm hoping we can kind of avoid it. So we're just gonna kind of run straight for it. I'm gonna drop a waypoint right there. So if I can hug the walls as we get closer to that sandworm, we should be just fine. I don't know what the deal is with the spawn rates here in this area, but like, having played this game a lot, this is a lot of animals. It's kind of odd to me that there's so many animals in such a confined area. I don't know if that's optimized by the devs yet. It might just kind of be like one of those small areas they haven't quite had a chance to go back through and optimize, but I definitely love taking advantage of it. When it comes time to harvesting bones, it is super handy. So we are running through here. I've noticed my oxygen's dropping, and I don't know if it's because this isn't working right now. Sometimes you'll put oxygen tanks into the oxygen slot, and it doesn't always work. I don't know why that is. But I just pop it out, pop it back in, hit consume, and usually it's fine. So we'll see how this goes. It's not the most exciting place to run through because it's just an arid desert. But I will say the effects of like the blowing dust and sand was a really nice touch by the devs. That's a very recent update as well. So say what you will about the game. I know there's like little things that could be changed, but they are working on it every week. And I think that's a winning title. If you have devs pumping out updates and new content for the game that you love playing every week, what a winner. Not a lot of games do that right now, so I say it almost every time I play this game. That is a pretty remarkable and absolutely phenomenal aspect to this game. That's why I don't mind buying all the DLCs. It's a good way to support the game, and I want this thing to do well because I enjoy playing it so much. Like, it's Friday afternoon. I could be out playing outside, doing anything right now. But today I just wanted to stay home and chill. Just wanted to vibe. So that's what I'm going to do. Hopefully avoid the world boss. If not, I got something for him. A couple somethings for him, actually. We just need to avoid the moving sand. Some dribbo out here. And I'm kind of dying to put like a temporary base over by that lake because it's such a nice area. It's such a like uniquely nice area that I think it'd be a rad place to build. I had thought that this might have been an oasis initially, but when you come up on it, it looks like it dried out. It's kind of a nice touch. It's a good immersive little landmark here. Like, you could imagine this place having like little water pools everywhere, but it just ended up being like this kind of dried out oasis. All these palms here to indicate that. And all that's left is this enzyme geyser. And one of these streams, definitely not today, one of these streams I'm going to be harvesting those enzymes. Make some pretty elaborate decorations. Is that supposed to be a scorpion? It is a scorpion. Oh my gosh, I haven't seen a scorpion in like forever. Hi. I would love to taxidermy this guy because I have not seen one in like such a long time. I'm gonna take that back for sure. Yeah, one thing I will say too is I love how quiet it is out here. Like, the access to different biomes I think is a super underrated aspect of the game. Oh my gosh. Okay, I messed up. I zigged when I should have zagged, guys. Come on. Oh, that narrowly missed my face. I definitely zigged when I should have zagged. Okay, run, run. Okay, he's going on the ground. Love that for me. I got a few seconds. Get some food buffs going. Get ready for my first shot. Come on. There we go. He's about halfway. He's taking quite a bit of health off of me. Okay, that's about a third of my health. He's going back down. I got a couple seconds. Top off real quick. Oh, is that a cougar? Are you for real? Oh, he's right here. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Okay, okay. There's another scorpion right there too. Just gotta wait for him to open his mouth. I'll do the most damage there. Okay, I'm almost to half health. Almost done. Come on, come on. One more shot. There it is. Oh. I definitely zigged when I should have zagged. You took half of my health, man. That's why I got hella meat, though. Do I have room to carry all of that? We're gonna need the fiber if we build a temporary base out there. I can reorganize this a little bit, right? Come on. We can probably take this stuff. I definitely... Oh! May or may not have just peed a little. Yeah, I'm gonna take the sandworm tendon. I will leave the vestige, and I'm gonna take a couple of these stacks of scale. That's about as much as I can carry. So, another world boss down, and some peripheral enemies as well. Gosh, dude. Just when you think everything's gonna be cozy, non-chaotic, it's definitely not that. Got him. Okay. And the rifle is almost completely out of commission. So I'm going to transfer over to the bow for a little bit for handling enemies or anything else we need to exterminate. I really should have pulled the map back up to reference how close we were to that thing. I literally walked up on top of him. I don't know what I was thinking there. I was just too excited to get to where we're going. Thinking of building a base over there. And then Viola. Moving sand. Gosh. We're healing slowly. Slowly making progress there. That was pretty close. A little too close for comfort even, I will say. But we did alright. We survived. I only peed a little bit. Wasn't that bad. I'm definitely the opportunistic hunter. I will say it's a really good way to stack your progress, experience points. It's also why I have 214 tech points right now. I do have some feedback on that. What I will say is I think it would be in the interest of the devs if like every 5th, let's say even every 10th level that you increase past 60, because 60 is the cap. But if every 5th or 10th level you surpass 60, they gave you 1 skill point, not tech tree, but like talents skill point. I think that actually would be pretty phenomenal and still a good way to try to continue to level up. So we're damn near close to where I want to be standing, but it's on this side. I want to be right there where that dock is. And I still haven't really sorted out the deepest part of this lake yet. But the fishing here is the best. Allegedly, everything I've read, this is the best place to fish. That does look like some pretty deep water, though. Let's do proof of concept. Yeah, this is some pretty deep water. So I think our dock's in a good spot. We could probably move it up. Maybe like a couple 4 pieces, I would say. We could do that. We definitely have the materials. We have 1 spot in our hot bar. So doesn't get much more perfect than that. This does need to be repaired though, so let me go ahead and fix this stuff up. I don't know, for you guys who are watching right now, should I build a base out here? Should I even bother? Like, I really don't mind just running out here. But my goodness, dude. Just imagine, like, looking up over the hill right here. And just seeing a base up there in those rocks. Or even one here on these rocks. I think this space just looks really... It has, like, almost like a quiet desperation to it. It's so unforgiving of a climate. But I do see some animals that spawn in here. Obviously there is water. I bet we could make it work. I don't know if you guys are watching on cell phone or on TV, but let me know your guys' thoughts. Okay, I'm actually gonna need... Oh boy. Tier 2, we can live with that. The sand's already stacking up. The only downside is to these sandstorms is the only way to get rid of that sand is if you have a shovel and you can manually move it. Let's do a few more of those. Every third one, right? 1, 2, 3. We'll do one here. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna cover this place up. Get a little covered patio going. Crafting them as I place them. Let's get a few more. We can only craft 2 more, which should tie us in. Back to work? Okay, see you later. Bye. Have fun. Okay, so that takes care of the sand down below at least. Let me drop that into the water. We're gonna chum the water here a little bit. Get my tackle box up. Fishing during a storm is probably some of the best fishing you can do. I think there's actually a skill for that too, so let's go ahead and cast this out. Oh, no way. It's because of the floor piece right here. I have to remove this if I want to be able to cast. Can I squat down and then cast? There we go. Got him. Yeah, it is a pretty gnarly sandstorm, and it's about to get a lot worse. We're definitely getting storm exposure. I've got decent armor on. I'm not too worried about it. Crimson Wrasse, 84% quality. This might be a personal best record. I'll know in just a moment. Yep. 1,000 millimeters, 8.7 kilograms. Let's take a look at that. Oh, wrong one. Let's go. Fishing record. Crimson Wrasse. That'd be saltwater though, eh? Yeah, saltwater found on Olympus and sticks, and here's some lures that are effective for catching this. Not bad. I think it'd be fun to try and craft some of these at some point. 1,000 millimeters, 8.7 kilograms, 84%. That was my second fish I ever caught in this crimson wrasse. So, all things considered, not a bad way to start. Now that this storm is raging on and it's super loud, I'm going to try and build just a very temporary structure piece here. Let's do 4x4. Yeah, a lot of these trees are falling. We might as well take advantage of it. I'm just going to do a temporary structure. Just something to get us out of this weather. Let's do 4 walls. Excuse me, 8 walls. We need fiber. Wow, this storm is crazy. And I thought it was going to be so chill. This would be one thing to really get used to out here, would be these frequency of storms. Just how wild these are. But I'm going to bother with windows right now. There's our 4 floor pieces, 8 wall pieces, and then we're going to do 4 roof pieces to tie it all in together. There we go. Just at the tail end of that storm. Oh boy. Do I have a shovel? I do not. I wonder if I can make a wooden shovel. Yep. I'm gonna use that to get rid of this sand in here. So, collect. There we go. Yeah, that storm was pretty wild. Let's see if we can do like some temporary storage. For that, we're gonna need more fiber. I'm gonna swap this for the sickle. Hop back outside. Yeah, we got plenty of fiber in here. We'll be good. Oh, I'm full. Let's see if we can do that now. Let's drop this partial stack of sticks. We'll do a medium wood crate. I'm just gonna grab all the wood that fell that I can and just toss it into here. Ooh, don't mind if I do. Clear this up a little bit. That looks pretty good. And then we're just gonna take advantage of these trees. We definitely don't necessarily want them to go to waste. So I'll collect what I can, retain what I can inside of the medium wood crate here. And then if we end up building down here, guys, I'll just use this material. Wow. Okay. We are on an alien planet, so physics do some pretty wild, unexpected things. That tree just disappeared. I'm talking Mandela effect disappeared. That was wild. Whoa. Oh, nice. I just harvested that entire tree. Love that for me. And I almost imagine we have enough resources to potentially even craft a bed. We could probably just sleep out here. Do a couple days of fishing since that storm kind of interrupted a lot. We could do the seed pouch too, but at the very least, we're going to need the bed. I'm going to set a temporary spawn point. Grab that shovel back out. Get rid of this sand here. There we go. And all we need now is a fireplace. So let's see if any of this stone can be harvested. Oh, that was awesome. First strike. And fiber. There we go. Put that down here in the corner. Turn this into a window. Same thing here. And then we'll toss some sticks in, get some charcoal going for water filtration system. That way we can have clean drinking water out here, and then we'll be good. Just the bare essentials, everything that you absolutely need. And take these down. Yeah, I do think it would probably be in our best interest to upgrade this building material. I don't know what we would upgrade to, but I'm thinking something along the lines of stone. Something a little bit hardy, but doesn't break immersion. And I imagine there's got to be a cave system in here. Okay, a couple of these little areas look pretty cavey to me. Let's consult the map genie, shall we? I'm gonna drop this down for you guys. So looking at A13, B13, what do we got in here? Okay, just as I suspected, there's a couple of areas that look pretty cavey. And then there's all these deep mining deposits, which are pretty rad. So we definitely could do passive collection of resources. And overall, there's a decent amount of caves, actually, in this area. So, I mean, as far as, like, base building places go, I think it's a strong candidate. Like, this is obviously just a temporary structure. But with the proximity to the caves and proximity to water, deep mining, I think this is definitely a strong candidate for a base build. There are some animals too, so food, water, shelter, my main considerations when picking a new spot for a base. This definitely ticks off a lot of those boxes. Let's sort that real quick. And then let's get just the bare essentials in there. Wood, fiber. I've got some base building pieces in there as well. Okay. We've got heaps of coconuts now. So we're good on water and hydration. What I think would be really smart to do, we can kind of consolidate our inventory here. We could probably probably take a trip down to one of these caves and see about harvesting iron and copper. We've got some leather. Yeah, that should be enough space. I bet that'll work. So it looks like there was a couple on that side, if I recall correctly, and at the very least, here at this mound of stone here in the center, there was like a cave entrance, like a tier 1, tier 2 cave entrance over here somewhere. I think that's it. That looks pretty cavey to me. We'll pay a visit, see if we can get some resources. I think if we can get the orbital exchange... Oh, maybe this isn't a cave. It looks pretty cavey to me. Let's see. I would think it'd be like right there. Huh. Let me consult the genie again. Oh, I'm standing too far to the right. It looks like it's actually further to the left over here. Oh. Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. Let's get the lantern going. Let's see what's inside. Okay, we got a cave worm, 2 cave worms. Oh, this is a bigger cave than I anticipated. And there's water in here too. Oh, I hear one. I don't see it. There it is. Got some coal, deep ore deposit, and exotics? Yo. Okay. Yeah, I mean, everything we need to start a base is right here. Heaps of iron too. Oh my gosh. There's even some aluminum and platinum in here. Yeah, this is strong. Absolutely choice area. Good candidate for base build. It almost seems like we could even... I mean, I'm not a fan of living in a cave, but at least the more important, crucial things, we could probably store them in here. So as these storms rage on outside, we would basically have like our own mini bunker to protect all that stuff. So let's get a couple stacks of iron. I'll grab a single node of copper. And we should be set. That's good. Let me just do a single node of copper, which I thought I saw back here. There's 2 back here. I got room. The thing I love about playing Icarus is you can go any direction. Like, it's truly like the ultimate Minecraft sandbox. Just anything you want to do, if you can visualize or conceptualize it, you can definitely do it. I almost like the idea of putting the base like elevated up in the air and attaching it to this mound. That way it's high off the ground, gorgeous view, overlooking the water. But man, I think just being next to the water would be more choice. There's heaps of resources down here too. All the fiber, all the wood. Ooh, strong candidate for a site. Right here. I like that a lot. Up on the hill a little bit, give you a nice elevated view. We're doing it. We're definitely doing it. So I'm gonna grab enough stone to make a furnace and crafting bench. Question is fiber. Let's get that guy going. Yeah, I think I like that. We can move the temporary base structure from down here up there. We'll get some stuff going. Craft me a furnace, and for that I'm going to need 80 stone. Currently sitting right at 37. 53. $77. We're good. Just gonna grab the rest of this for anything else we're gonna need. Okay. I also like, this is gonna sound really like an odd compliment, but I will say I really like the way that they make the stone look here. Like, it gives me strong, like, Arches National Park, Zions National Park vibes. If you know, you know. Let's drink some of these before they go bad. That ras is about to go bad, and I watched it go bad. I'll toss that in the fire. Okay, we're good on food for probably a few days, and we got some hydration options. I think we'll be just fine. I got the charcoal going. A little bit to make a water filtration system here pretty soon. Grab one of these. We'll craft more sticks. There's our stone furnace. I thought a rain reservoir would be smart, but I doubt it's ever going to rain. So that thing will literally just be full of sand and dirt. And I crafted 2 of them. Not sure how. What a rookie mistake. Okay, let's toss these bad boys in. We'll have the orbital exchange system in no time. I think it's 7, 7, and 7? 7, 7, and 8? Where is it at? There it is. 8, 7, and 7. 8 rope, 7 iron ingot, 7 copper ingot. We got it. We got all that. We should be good. We can either craft rope out of the fiber, or we can craft rope out of the leather. Let's see. Yeah, we would have enough in the leather. But because I've got the fiber, I'm going to go ahead and do that. Could probably put a post in that front right corner, but we don't need to. What I do want to do is try some more of this fishing. So this doesn't specify salt or freshwater, the fiber lure. The bark lure does specify freshwater. The one we're currently using is a dog tag. I kind of want to try the black wolf lure. This was an expensive lure to make. I had to kill a world boss for it, so hopefully it's worth all the hype. And if it's not, it was still fun. Let's give you guys a nice little cinematic view here. Me fishing off the dock. I think this is the deepest water, and the deepest water has the best spawn rates. Okay, 98% quality, crimson piranha. I want to say that this is a common fish. I don't think it's uncommon. Come on. So close. There we go. It is a new record. 10 kilograms in weight, 750 millimeters. Let's check it out. Crimson piranha. So this is considered pretty high quality. I mean, not the longest, for sure, because it's only 750 millimeters, but that's my longest that I've caught. Caught 6 of them so far. I don't know that that's trophy worthy, but it's pretty high up there, I will say. Let's try right between these 2 rocks. Looks like a pretty fishy corner to me. I feel like if I was a fish, I'd be chilling out right there too. It's arid desert, little zebra walking around back there. Oh, here we go. Another crimson wrasse. 60%, I'm gonna let it go, because I know the last one we caught was significantly better than that. Let's try right here. Some pretty deep water. You can see the fish swimming by. Yeah, I'm curious. The devs announced that they'd be doing an update to the fishing. More to come. All things fishing. They're even going to initiate their own crafting menu, where in order to craft certain items, you need specific species of fish, or at least fish parts. So if I was a betting man, they're probably going to do things like fish bones, maybe like drops from the fish. So if it's like a piranha, maybe to be poison items. I don't know. There's a lot of ways that they could go with that, though. I'm really curious to see what they decide to do with it. Either way, I don't think they can fail. I think they've set up quite the system in place for us to elaborate and go in depth on the fishing aspect. But I mean, after 1,000 hours of playing this game, if I was going to bet, they're going to have like drops that come from the fish. So that's how they're going to do their crafting supplies, if I was going to guess. I do think playing Elysium would be rad, and I might actually transfer over to that later tonight after the stream is done. Oh, oh, come on now. 81. So we got 3 of those going. Let's take a look here. We're saltwater. I've got a few undiscovered species here. I don't know if any of these are going to be for this specific body of water. I've got the right lures. Freshwater, 40% chance to catch common fish, and the lure I'm using, I want to say, is specific to... So this one's not specific. The Black Wolf lure is just a better rating. Whereas the dog tag lures are saltwater. So let's go back to dog tags. Let's try going a little bit further back in the deeper water. Everything I've read, I don't know for sure, but it indicates that deep water, best spawn rates. And I'm using a lure for better fish. I've got the fisher's module in. We should be catching some decent personal records here on this body of water today. Now that that storm's passed, I feel like we're gonna have some decent weather. 78%, I'm gonna let that one go. There was water in that cave system too. I'm real curious to see what I pull out of that cave. I feel like a lot of these different videos I've seen on fishing, I don't know if I've ever seen anyone fish in a cave before. 79%, not great. Okay, of these, 98% is pretty damn close to perfect. 79, 83, 81. Let's do that guy there. And then the rest I'm just going to convert to chunks. We'll get that on the fire. Get some food going. I really do like the ambient noises of the desert. For whatever reason, it's like really nice to just listen to. It's kind of a vibe for me. Okay, let's go no lure. That's cooking right now. I do want more of the charcoal. And then let's see if we can craft basic water purifier. Need sticks. Let's craft some sticks up. Let's do 3, 4. Should be plenty. There we go. And that leaves us with 83 charcoal. Should be plenty enough for us to last for a while. So no matter where we go, I'd like to have like some way to procure water, clean water, until I can like start making water filtration tablets. This is going to be the best thing that I can do. And then once I have those water filtration tablets, I'll go around and destroy all of these. They're pretty cheap to make, and they definitely work really well. Okay, we got some iron. Exactly the amount of copper we needed. That's perfect. It's absolutely incredible. I can't believe that that worked out. And now, if I put this down, we have access to everything. It's pretty much everything you could need and want, minus food, is available to me now. So the amount of relief that I have just having this here is huge. I could absolutely transform this entire space if I wanted to. I could order copper, iron, bring it down, craft more supplies. I could literally order down limestone and just turn all this into concrete if I really wanted to. Like, there's really no limit now. Proof of concept. How elaborate do we want this base to look? Could do decoration bench. Just need some fiber for that. We get a lightning rod going. I don't know if there's lightning storms in the desert. To be honest, this is gonna sound crazy. In 1,000 hours of playing out here, I don't know that I lived out here long enough to know that. Do a beehive. Yeah, there's really no limit to what we could do out here. I could even bring the dropship out here if I wanted to. Let's start with the basics. Let's explore expanding the size of this base in operation a little bit. I'll shut this door behind us. Pull out my sickle. Toss some of this stuff back in here. And I'm gonna grab a heap of fiber real quick. 209. Let's get some pieces made up. Let's do 12. 14. It's not gonna require more wood. Probably. We got tons of it though. I think that spot that I picked up on the hill. I didn't realize I had this still. That spot that I picked out on the hill is the perfect candidate. To end up being fiber. Let's see, let's toss some of this stuff away. Definitely don't need all of it on us. Let's grab another couple stacks of wood. Grab more fiber. Yeah, that spot's gonna be kind of epic, I think. Overlooking the water. There are some animals in here. So we could definitely have quite a bit of food going. Animals also mean bones, which mean epoxy, so we could definitely craft for prolonged periods of time. We could definitely make this work. Not typically something I go for. I'm definitely much more of a conifer kind of guy. Even Arctic biomes. The desert biome? Not really. I've built temporary bases before, but definitely nothing long term. Let's do 16 to start. I'm kind of digging the idea though. I just think it's crazy. After 1,000 hours of gameplay, I've never really done a long-term livable space in the desert. Elysium is the closest thing I've got to, but I want to say in Elysium I've probably only got 8 to 10 hours of playing that DLC, so let's pick a nice centered area. Let's raise that up a little bit if we can. That looks high enough. Yeah, that's perfect. So that'd be 1 and then 2. How far over this do we want to go? I'm thinking pretty far. 1, 2, 3. That puts us at the right height. 1, 2, and 3. Oh, that's in the wrong spot. I have to walk that dog onto it. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Perfect. So that's going to be the floor of the base. I'll bring it this way. There we go. 2 and 3. That looks pretty good. Dude, the views are going to be maximized in this place too. Oh my gosh. It's going to look crazy. Definitely all windows. All windows everywhere. This will be our door. Now I've got to craft another wall piece. Let's do 1. That ties in the bottom floor. Then we need 2 for the second floor. And then We're gonna need 6 roof pieces. Rod of wood. I can grab 5. I'll start with 5. Let me get one of these down. Do some stairs. Oh yeah. There we go. Windows for days. Oh my gosh. That's like almost like too many windows. There is such a thing. So that's cracking. We need to get some structural support up in here. I'm gonna do one at each corner. And then I'm gonna tie it together on either end to look like so. And then one run down the very center as well. And then our roof is gonna go all the way up top. We have enough for one side only. That's facing the wrong way because it's stairs. Wood roof ramp. There we go. Oh my gosh. That was like... yeah, that was thunder. So the conifer biome is getting a lightning storm right now. Typically tier 4. That scared me. That was loud. Really loud in my headset at least. I don't know about you guys. I don't typically do a Friday night stream, but the fact that I'm just like able to stay home right now and just vibe is really nice, not gonna lie. Okay, we're dropping fiber. We should have enough stone now. We need 2 more of those roof ramps. Then we should be good for those pieces. We just need 4 corner pieces now. And I kind of imagine that this place is going to get wrecked during these desert storms. Like the weight from all the sand on top of the roof is a little bit concerning actually. So if possible, I think bringing back a stone base set equivalent for this place would be really smart. And then I'll just upgrade it. We definitely don't have to build all that stuff here. And all the infrastructure. We already have it back at our homestead. So that's what I'll do there. But maximum window views looks really good. Look at that view. This is crazy. Little sniper tower. It's gonna be our first real substantial meal out here in the desert. We'll take it all. If we could fit it, we would take it all. Let's downsize a little bit. We can drop stone, heaps of stone all around us. And I bet I can fit that. And then we'll tear down the temporary base and move everything up. Get some meat on the fire. Our first real meal is going to be fish chunks and zebra meat. Who would have thought? We could probably make some leather curtains for all the windows upstairs. Up the hill for our house. And then we're gonna need a drop ship to come down. We'll send these exotics and legendary biomass up. I've got some exotics back at the homestead, so these we can just send up. And there's gonna be exotics in that cave too. So I'm gonna keep this drop ship down here. Make 2 trips to that bad boy. Then... the sandworm scale and tendon will be used for crafting. I think there's armors. There's probably a bow we can make, if I remember correctly. So we'll take advantage of that as well. If we find silica, we could do mortar pestle. But for the time being, at least, I think this is going to work. We can definitely make this work. Let's keep 2 stacks of 100. We'll keep the fiber on us. We'll take the leather. We don't need the fur. I'll take the bed up there. Save our spawn point. Toss the iron back in there for now. Yeah, I'm going to keep this right here for now. Because there were and are exotics in that cave. And then any of the surrounding caves we find, we'll grab those exotics as well. Dude, the lighting in here is pretty incredible too. I guess you can expect that with like all the windows. It's pretty wild. So there's our spawn point. We are good. Let's do 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 beams. I'm gonna do 6 because I might have counted wrong. So we have one in the corner. Let's do an angled piece here. Same thing here. Then we'll do one here. And then we need 3. Nice. 6 was a good call. Hell yeah, that looks good. I am a fan. I think this should be a window if we're gonna follow suit. I know that was super particular of me, but I love it. All the windows, all of them. So if we head back to that cave, we can grab the rest of the exotics that were there. Bring that back. Toss it up into orbit. And for those of you who joined me this afternoon, I really appreciate it. It means a lot. I mean, I really want to thank you guys for watching. I feel bad knowing that you're probably either at home or at work watching this instead of going out and enjoying yourselves. But I don't blame you. What in the world is happening here? What is this? Why is this kind of creepy? What are you guys doing? Did you guys just like get stuck in here? That's so weird. That was almost... Oh, cave worm, cave worm. I dodged that. If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball, baby. Let's go. I forget that they do respawn. I don't know why I forgot that detail, but I did. I don't think we need the poison sac or scale. Just the one? Nothing else? If I go deeper, does that cause you guys to spawn now? No. Yeah, it's just the one cave worm. Interesting. Okay. Well, I'm going to take this node of exotics back with me. There we go. And then if there's room, I'm going to skin those 2 out. Storage is a precious commodity, it seems. Yep, don't have enough room. Parcel stack of fiber. We would need exactly 2 slots. If this guy has a different... Oh yeah, we're good. Dropped a couple stacks of bone, but that's okay. All I wanted was the exotics. Put that in our drop ship, send it back up into orbit. Yeah, I think if I were to really go crazy over here, really the only thing I would do is just make it much bigger. Because really we don't need it. It's just a temporary space to go fishing at. I got my tackle box out there. If a big storm comes through, I'm definitely gonna go grab it. I think we can craft iron and stone. My stone still out here? I don't see it anywhere nearby. Was it on the ground in here? Nope. Let's just grab a little bit of it. Don't need very much. This is already plenty. Should be good. So I want to make this cooking station so I can make animal fat. The reason for that is the primary resource of fuel for my lantern. So I'll toss that in our base up the hill. And then I'm just going to shuttle everything around. So realistically, probably need to make 2 of these medium crates. But if I can just get the 1 for now, that'll be enough. And I'm literally just going to shuttle everything up here. That's going to be our temporary living space in the desert biome. Never thought I'd say that this episode. But that's kind of how it goes sometimes. Things evolve, things change, we adapt. Right there. And then I'll pull this guy out. Get some animal fat going. I'm just going to transfer everything over. Everything goes in. Except for this stuff. This stuff stays with me. Just toss that stuff in as well. Now I'm just going to grab everything and bring it up here. We could send that up, but I believe there are 2 more cave systems. The map genie says they're up on that hill somewhere. If I'm looking at this correctly, there's like basically 2 of them side by side. And those areas look pretty cavey to me, so that looks like probably the candidates. But I'll comb those for exotics, and if there are, I'll send those up into orbit as well. Can never have too many exotics. Especially with how many things I buy and playtest, especially lately. I've been playtesting a lot of different items. I'll let that guy go. But having many exotics has been very useful. Let's just do an add to stacks. That's basically full. Let's do 1 more of those medium crates. There we go. Storage for days. Okay, so the stone furnace, I don't actually know if I'll be keeping that. Realistically, it might get used. Reality, probably not. But for now, we'll just go ahead and take it with us. We've got the real estate. For the time being, it shouldn't be a problem. Take the last of the stuff that was in this medium wood crate, pick that up. Take everything there. We'll grab our food, charcoal, our wood, little campfire. And we've got just enough room to grab this stuff. And 1 slot to spare for the OEI. We are now encumbered, but that's everything. Let's go ahead and move all this stuff up the hill. And then I would really like to go check those caves out. I'll sleep the night away, get the sun back on our side, and then we'll go check out those caves. I really didn't anticipate pulling exotics out of these hills today, but I mean, I'm here. Might as well. We got the drop pod here. Might as well fill it up. Yeah, see, that looks pretty cavey to me. I think there's a cave right there, so we'll go check it out. Let's go ahead and transfer some things over into here. We could probably toss the rest of this. I think that would be okay. We can go ahead and destroy the extra building materials, get some materials back, and then we'll go ahead and set up our fire there. Full stack of wood. Get our charcoal going. And then let's go ahead and sleep. Okay, so, I mean, for 13 hours into this series, I'm pretty content. I mean, we have a desert base for any of the forward operations we do out here, which expanded to, I mean, exotic collection. I didn't think I'd be doing that. Not here. But I'm happy with that. Get a crafting bench up. This looks like a good spot for it. Just kind of center that on the wall. That looks really good. I'll get the medium crate next to it. And then stone furnace next to it. So yeah, this place has got tons of storage. We definitely have the animal fat now. I'll keep that in here. Keep our lantern topped off. And then let's go take a look at that cave. Potentially 2 caves. And see if any of those have exotics in them. Yeah, that spot looks pretty cavey to me. That's gotta be a cave. Let's go take a look. Map Genie says there's 2 along that wall somewhere. That's gotta be one of them. I also thought that that was a cave from back down by the water. I was wrong though. I've been wrong before. I don't know, man. That looks pretty cavey. I don't know, chat. What do you think? Is that going to be a cave? Called it. Towards the end there, I was getting like really unsure. Okay, what tier is this? Tier 2. So potential exotics. We'll see. Definitely cave worms. Yep, right here. I see exotics. Oh, here we go. I was waiting for that guy to pop up. And a third. No third. Oh! Bees. Got him. Oh my gosh, I was looking for a cave worm and there were bees there the whole time. We'll take that with us. We can definitely use it. Isn't that a sight for sore eyes? Look at this. God, I'm really glad they retextured the exotics. They didn't look bad before. I never thought they looked bad before, but they definitely look pretty rad now, I will say. And we've got some room, so we might as well bring back the iron. I really wasn't going to do much more mining. I know it's probably not the most invigorating thing to watch, but I'll grab some iron, copper, some coal, bring that back, throw it in the furnace. I'm sure we can take advantage of that later. Already here, we might as well. So I'm pretty happy with what I have on me. I am genuinely curious though. So I'm under the impression that any standing of water you can technically fish. I've done this on sticks too, so Yep. I'm really curious if and what I pull out of here. I don't know what I'd find, but it'd be funny if it feels like a lake trout or, I don't know, something very unsuspecting being in here. I imagine it's freshwater too, and I'm using a dog tag lure, which is just salt water, but I don't think there's any discrimination. Oh, here we go. Crimson piranha. That's a saltwater fish. Interesting. Is it safe to say then that this is saltwater? Look at that tiny little guy. That's kind of cute. Spin that camera around. He's like the size of the lure. That's wild. Look at him. That is hilarious. Huh. What if I change my dog tag lure out for the wolf, the black wolf lure? If you wanted proof of concept, I did catch something, so I'm just genuinely curious what kind of monster I can pull out of here. And I'm curious too if it just is the same spawning of fish as like what's local to this area. I can't imagine it would be very different. Oceanic piranha. Inside of a cave. Tiny little fella. Wow, he is like the same size as the lure. That is hilarious. It is really dark. Okay, allegedly there's a second cave. It's either to my right or to my left. That looks a little cavey, but I could be wrong. Let's go to the left. This isn't it, is it? No. So I found that one there. There's supposed to be a second cave on this wall here. Maybe. Yep. If you had a cave scanner, this would be a lot easier to do. But I'm just using Map Genie, which some people think is cheating, and I call it being well informed. Okay, we got bees for sure. Cave worm number 1. Let's go ahead and take care of these bees real quick. Cave worm number 2 just popped up, and I do see exotics back there. Let's go ahead and take care of these bees. I did get stung, but that's okay. Wow. This is kind of an epic cave. Say what you will about this, this design. The simplicity is like kind of beautiful. If you can't tell, I'm a fan of the game. We are now over encumbered. Perfect timing. Oh, fresh air outside. Okay. Let's make it to that drop pod. We'll drop these 2 exotics in, and then we'll take everything else back. Try to eat this stuff before it goes bad. And I think my time here in the desert was well spent. We got a temporary base for fort operations out here. Any simple quests we do out here, I think are going to be extremely localized to this area anyway. They typically are. But I'm pretty happy with that. It's a good view. Good house. Tier 3 heat wave coming through. We're going to want to set this out. I think we have enough water to get through this. Wouldn't be a bad idea to grab the charcoal that I have and get that thing in that basic water purifier. Let's go ahead and toss this in. We have coal now. I'm going to save bee and honeycomb. Probably convert these into chunks. Itty bitty fish. The stone would probably be a good idea to keep as well. Food. Fiber. Bone. We can destroy the wood floor. Toss that back in. I feel pretty good about that. There's a little bit of stone left. Yeah. That looks good. This stuff in here is going to be more close to crafting. I feel like. More of like my crafting materials bench, so I'll pull out some of this stuff. I can leave that in there. And all my exotics. Let's get the sandworm scale. All my exotic stuff I'll just toss over here. I'll be taking this stuff back with me to base. The orbital exchange interface, I will leave that here. I think it'd just be a nice reassuring thing to have. If ever we needed anything, and I mean anything, we at least have it. Ground's not particularly flat here, is it? Looks like a good spot. Okay. This is all coming back with me to base. Ooh, I am danger low on water. I'm gonna grab the charcoal from here. We'll toss that in. I don't think any of this needs to come with me back to base. I'm pretty okay with most of this stuff staying out here. And the reality is, if this stuff were to get damaged, destroyed, I do not care. This is just a temporary base out here in the desert. So I'll upload the last 2 nodes of exotics that I have, and then we'll get the fun out of here. There we go. Did that work or no? I've never done that before. Tell me that that worked. Well, that might have worked. I've never done that. Oh yeah, there's silica over here, so we could have easily made a mortar and pestle. But with this heat wave going on, it's pretty nuts. Should I wait till the worst part passes? Because I am like blazing hot right now. Yeah, running out of stamina is extremely fast. Yeah, we're losing health right now. Yeah, we probably don't want to be running around this. Just hop in the water, cool off a little bit. What am I doing? Charcoal. Yeah, I feel like staying in the water is really the only thing you... Ow! Is that a piranha, or am I just losing health from... Yeah, the heat wave. Honestly, the worst part's almost over, so I'm just gonna take shelter. If I even make it back in time. Once this next 2 phases of the storm pass over, we can run back to our main base. I mean, not bad. I honestly think this storm will pass here in just a moment. Wow, my temperature is climbing through the roof. Am I gonna be okay? It honestly might be better to just hang out by the water. I was cooler there than I was here. Yeah, I feel like this is the best thing. Look at that temperature come down. Bottom left corner. It seems like the best thing I can do right now. Yep, just keeping my core temperature down. It should be okay. I'm gonna go ahead and top off on my water supply for our long trip and journey back. Oof. It's getting even hotter. Even though I'm standing in the water. Wow. It's helping to stave off some of that temperature though. I know our exposure is getting higher, but honestly, this is the best thing we can do right now is just chill in the water. And it's about to pass. Literally just seconds now. We'll be fine. Let's get this thing rotated here. Piranha just bit me. Love that. Can you not? Can you just back up, Piranha? Okay, nearly over. Nearly over. We should be good now. I bet we can start walking. We'll be fine. Okay, that concludes the desert biome experience. Extended our dock a little bit. Tackle box. Almost left without my tackle box. Wow. There we go. Okay. I mean, we fought a world boss, mined exotics, built a new temporary base, did some fishing, did some hunting. I'm pretty pleased. I mean, there isn't much more I would have wanted to do out here anyway. I feel like I did it all. I mean, we're fishing in the desert biome. So, let's go ahead and head back. Titanium. It's good to know that there's a deep ore deposit of titanium there. We'll probably end up leveraging that at some point. I'm going to kind of keep my eye out for caves on the way back. In case we encounter any tier 2 or 3 caves, I will be able to take my time, go in there, and see if there's any exotics. I think that would be probably a good use of time. It looks like there's going to be one. Does that say G or C? Looks like C13. Let's take a look. C14. Somewhere right in here, there's a cave. So I'm going to check that out on the way back. I'm still in trouble from that piranha that bit me. This single cactus right here. Love that. Nicely done, devs. Yeah, I feel like another cave or two on the way back would be a really rad way to spend our time going back to base. Honestly, and for those of you who are watching, I'm sure you can understand this. Like, the exotics are useful for more than one thing. Like, it's not just currency anymore. It's also used for breeding and the animal husbandry. So I think with that utility alone, it's definitely worth the time to stop and collect it. And you're already in proximity, so... Ooh, creepy. There's one. These. There's probably another sandworm somewhere. There's exotics. Oh. Come back. Come back. There we go. Got him. That's good timing. He was winding up to hawk 2 of me. Salt deposit. Okay. It's not terrible. Heaps of iron. But we're gonna grab these exotics, take it back. I think I wasn't gonna do this. But honestly, I kind of need steel right now, back at my main base. So I'm just gonna grab raw iron And then probably a node of coal. So that put me at 45. So if I do one more of those, not quite 100. And then maybe one or two more of these. There we go. And that should get me enough steel, carry me over for a little bit. Some dribbo up ahead. Don't want to give them any ideas. Stay back. If these guys get running after you, they are pretty formidable to stop. And this guy especially. Grab a couple of these arrows back. We'll head back to base. Call it good. Now the real question is can I avoid the world boss on the way back? There's exactly one. There's exactly two world bosses on the way back. I'm gonna have to hug the walls. I mean, I suppose I could run just straight past them. Is that salt as well? Yeah, there's two salt deposits like right here. Interesting. It looks like there's another tier 2 cave. It looks like it would be right here. So let's hit that up. We gotta hug these walls anyway. Avoid a world boss fight. Look at that view, man. I don't know, something about the desert biome that I really just a strong allure for me. Drop these dribbo. It kind of looks like it's back in here somewhere. Oh, is that just stone? Interesting. That looks pretty cavey. Oh yeah. I think it's this thing right here. Oh. Those guys do aggro, just so you're aware. Yeah, this is a cave. I'm gonna keep this one nice and short. Drop all that stone. Oh, oh. Where is it? Where is it? I think I'm okay right here. Just drop this real quick. Oh gosh, he got me. There's two. Probably bees somewhere. Yeah, right there. Got him. Okay, we are good. Is there exotics though? I see a second beehive. A third cave worm. But I do not see... Yeah, I don't see exotics in here. Okay. Obviously not every tier 2 cave is going to have exotics, so just bear that in mind. But we checked it out. Did our due diligence. Okay, let's find a tactical way back that avoids as much conflict as possible. I don't think this rifle would survive a conflict with the world boss unless we were very picky about our shots. And I do technically have armor-piercing rounds, so we could rock these. So there's one just to the north of us, northeast that is. And then there's one directly east, southeast of us. So let's be a little careful here. Gold, that's dope. And then for those of you who are watching, if if you were to live out in a desert biome, I'm curious, what kind of building material would you pick? Would you go something tier 5 or just go straight for tier 7 storm resistance? Because after those past 2 storms, I'm kind of leaning towards tier 7. Another heat wave. I'm gonna be in trouble. Oh boy. That's a long ways. That's a lot of ground to cover. Let's see if I can cover as much ground as I can. We have a little bit of time before it starts to get real bad. There's tons of the dribble everywhere as well. Really hoping they don't aggro on me. I feel like fighting a world boss right now would just be absolute suicide. I'm about to have that 4th slot open up for food buffs. I don't see any moving sand, so we should be good. I feel like he's like this way a little bit. So we should be fine. Yep, our water's starting to drop a bit. Don't see any moving sand. I think we're okay. We can just get to that arch right there. That's our... Oh gosh. Yep. There's the moving sand. I don't think I want to pick that fight. Not right now, at least. That would be a bad idea. Yeah, that would be a bad idea. We're in the middle of a heat wave. There's dribble nearby. A couple of things could aggro on us. And then a world boss on top of all of that. I don't think I want to do that. Let's just play it smart. The worst part of the heat wave is coming. So if we can somehow manage to clear that arch before that heat wave starts, I think we'll be just fine. This is a lot of ground to cover. I'm really glad I have that module in. Stamina will regenerate a little faster now. None of these are predatory animals. They're all pretty chill. I think we're past the worst of it, guys. I think we'll be okay. Just gotta get back to base. Drop these exotics. We'll be good. I think this is absolutely gorgeous. Look at this thing. It's an awesome feature. I love that. National park vibes for sure. Ooh. That is a good shot. I love that. Say what you will about the cinematic scenes that Icarus can provide, but I am a huge fan. And you can kind of play with the angles too with that camera mode. Yeah, the short I'm working on right now for this cinematic short that I'm putting together, it's taking me a long time to kind of get the right angles on some of the things, but I wanted to feature like not just breathtaking landscapes, but some pretty fun shots of the animals as well. I think one of the more complicated things is the animals used to have more elaborate pathing, and they seemed more alive. Now they just kind of aimlessly wander. They get stuck easily. I know that they did that for performance purposes, so that the game functions better. But those were a lot easier cinematic scenes to capture than the ones now. I'll make it work though. It'll be fine. Home sweet home. Back into the conifer biome. Let's go ahead and repair this bridge a little bit. Make our way down. What a sight for sore eyes, man. I know we weren't gone for very long, but I do love seeing my base. There's a certain sense of like just... Ooh, yeah, relief. Knowing that I'm back. Workshop's still kicking butt and taking names, as I see. Here we are. Back home. I'm gonna call down a drop pod. We'll get these exotics up into orbit. And I think we have some here as well. I'll probably just keep a stack of 20 here. And that's going to come in handy for animal husbandry. We're going to be taking advantage of that. Once we get into animal husbandry, that is. Tier 5? Wow. No way, dude. We just left a tier 3 heat wave. And now we come home to a tier 5 storm. Icarus is trying to kill me right now. Snuck past a world boss. We're definitely going to take some damage, right? Because our structures are tier 5. But we're going to have to hide out. I think this is my first tier 5 storm here. Yeah, if I'm not crazy, this is my first tier 5 storm. I'm gonna save our exotic collections of world boss drops. The storm is crazy loud. Let me turn that down a little bit. And then I'll toss in a single stack of iron. A partial stack of iron. And then the rest of the iron, I really do think I need it for steel. Yeah, that's going to come in handy for sure. I especially need to repair this rifle. It is like on its last leg. There we are. And then from our tackle box, we did bring back a few fish species with us to add to the wall collection. So I'll place that right there for now. Let's get a couple of these. So I'm thinking... if I put one above the door, I think that might look okay. Does it fit? Very narrowly. Small. But welcome detail. It's not really the most symmetrical, is it? Like if you look at it right there, it looks like it's kind of high on the wall. So maybe we just don't put it there. It's gotta look good. I feel like if nothing else, it needs to look good. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of copy the format for this side. Okay, so I just centered it on the wall, and then on that part of the frame. So there, and there. So we'll put our two new fish that we caught up there. So there's a crimson piranha, looks pretty good. An oceanic piranha. That guy's tiny in comparison, but that's the best of what we got. Pretty happy with this space coming together though. I think overall it's starting to look very homey. I think it'd be a good idea to really just focus on bringing this space to life. And for that, we're going to need a decoration bench. Let's pop that bad boy out. So between the... wait, what's taking damage out here? I don't know what was taking damage. Is it this thing? Is it the floor? It was the floor. Everything's starting to take partial damage now. It is the worst part of the storm. That's to be expected, though. Okay, so I have some decorations already. I think the biggest thing to focus on would be the homestead pack. Everything we can craft from the homestead pack, and the decoration bench, and carpentry bench, I think is pretty high on my priority list. Homestead quilted bed. Requires wool. I don't know if that would fit in this space. It's quite large. I think a rocking chair would be rad for the front porch. We could pair that with a picnic table out in the grass. Comfy couch inside of the house. It's really more like a lazy boy style. It says soft armchair though. But I think one of those inside the house would look rad. We got a couple of these lantern posts outside. Oh, and then we could also do these shutters, the homestead shutters. That would be super rad. I think that would look best. Barbed wire. That sounds pretty rad. I think it's a good list to start off with. Beeswax is going to be a problem though. We don't have any of that. We don't have any wool either. Nor do I know how to make wool. I have to consult the GPT on that one. Just because I'm being lazy right now. To make wool in Icarus. Let's see what it says. So you can either do a tame with your animal husbandry and then shear it, or alternatively that makes 0 sense. Some missions or loot containers may occasionally give wool. Interesting. So really it's just livestock is our best option. Unless, I mean, any of you watching know a better alternative. But in the 1,000 hours of playing, I've never once needed to craft wool until now. But I think that these pieces would tie together this space so extremely well that it's inevitable. I'm going to have to do it. And then we definitely absolutely need the creature deterrent if we want to entertain animal husbandry. There's just no avoiding it. Especially because any animals that come in that could aggro, we don't want that. We want to keep those guys as far away as possible. Refined wood, epoxy, iron, gold. I think a cuckoo clock would be rad. So I've got copper, I've got gold, I've got iron. I've got the refined wood. I think now, excuse me. I think now I just need the nails, which I think I have a bit of that as well. Weather vane, that'd be rad, kind of cute. Let's go ahead and craft that up. It's pretty cheap. Cuckoo clock, we need the epoxy. Yeah, this base is about to look so damn adorable. Dash butter churn, let's do it. Cuckoo clock right there. A fireplace bellows. That works because we have the stove. And fireplace tools. Steel ingot, we've got it. What else is there? What is that? A spinning wheel? I'm not sure what that would be used for. It may not have utility. Some of these are obviously just decorations, and then some of them do serve utility, like the homestead scarecrow. Obviously that serves utility, right? That's not just for looks, but it is pretty rad. So head, arm, and leg armor. I'm pretty sure we can just grab fiber for that. That's pretty cheap. We've got the spoiled meat, I know that. Stone, wood, tree sap. Okay, let's grab all that. So let's do tree sap here. Let's just toss some of these resources in there. We could probably salt some of this food as well. You kind of speed run this, guys. Okay, let's go get some fiber. It's getting late in the day here, so we're probably going to want to sleep pretty soon, but I think we'll have enough light to just grab fiber we need. I'm going to stock up on a little bit of extra too. And then all the seeds we got from gathering those, we're going to use that for vegetable oil as well. Let's craft that up. Toss a stack in. Let's toss our fiber in. That should definitely be more than enough. I'm going to offload the fisher's module for now. Dog tag, lure. Don't need to carry that. Free up some inventory space. Let's toss these in. Got some seeds on us. Let's toss that in here as well. Okay, so let's go back. Take a look here. I really don't know what that's going to look like. I've never seen that. Let's go ahead and craft it. I'm sure it'll look good in this space anyway. We've got quite a few items already. Let's go ahead and start putting them up. I'm kind of excited to see what they look like. I've done some of these items on my last home. Oh, fireplace isn't on. Let's go ahead and just toss a full stack of wood in there. This is a partial stack, but works for what we need. There we go. Daytime. Looks like we got some cooked bacon and spoiled meat. I'm going to grab that, as we're going to need it. Let's take a look. Bird feeder, I did that the last place. Absolutely adorable. Definitely want to put that up. We're going to toss these in here. And then let me grab... Let's do head, arm. Did it say feet or did it say leg? Leg. Okay, that should be it for armor. 10 stone, 20 tree sap. We got it. For sure. Here we go. And here is the scarecrow. This is going to be really nice addition to the base. And I think I'm going to put it on the side facing the workshop, as that's also where I'm going to have my garden. Just makes the most sense. It feels the most immersive. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put all that stuff up as well. It's about to look incredibly adorable up in here. And I am stoked. I feel like being a prospector should be typically all about harvesting resources. But today, it's about thriving and having an awesome looking space. So if I can, I think putting it there at the corner. Oh, you don't get to rotate it. Interesting. Can I like scoot back in stealth mode? Put it right here. Creepy. Oh, that's awesome. I love that. You can kind of see the face that's there too. Let me get a closer angle for you guys. It's like stitched on. And he's wearing a prospector outfit. Good touch. I love it. Good job, devs. So yeah, I'm thinking the garden space is going to be kind of like a terrace look in here. It's going to kind of wrap around in this area, kind of following the contour of the mountainside. So the scarecrow makes a lot of sense right there. And then any of the spoiled meat that I have is just going to be added to that. So we'll get it actually powered on and working. And all the animals will stay out of our hair. You should be able to see that reflected on the map. So this big bubble of insurance is to keep any of those animals out of our hair. That'll be good. And then as for these peripherals, I think it'd be incredibly adorable to get these right next to our little wood burner here. So let's do the tools probably on the right side next to the window. And then the billows on the left side, kind of angling towards the front of our wood burner here. Can I scoot any closer? Right there. It's a good combination. Adorable. Cuckoo clock, I think, centered on this wall here. Hell yeah. Then we'll get some shutters on these windows as well. I really don't know what to do with these double windows though. Like, it's always been a challenge because it doesn't feel like they made good window covers for these double windows. The single windows look absolutely incredible, don't get me wrong. Like, let's take a look at that. So the window shutters are on the carpentry bench, 2 iron ingot, and rope. We have hella rope. Let's grab half of that. That partial stack there. I need to salt this bacon real quick before it goes bad. Okay, we got a few items here to craft. I think I've got iron up here. So we should be good for the windows. So we have 2 single windows, so I think I'll make 2 of those. And then do I have any leather curtains? I have some. Let's get that out. Get these 2 window shutters going. So we have 2 single windows. One there. One there. And then I can also do the leather curtain on top of that. Look at that combo though. My gosh. That looks good. I'm a fan. It's very ranchy. Very homesteady. Looks good. There isn't a variant though. It says 2 variants. Let's see what it looks like. I wonder if it's colored. Does it just have like a different color? Like what's the other variant look like? Let's see here. Yeah, it's just white. Kind of bleached out white look. I definitely am a bigger fan of the darker color though, so I'm going to pull that up. Toss that in. Yeah, that darker color looks better. I just really don't know what to do with these double windows. Like, it had almost been better if I had just done single windows there. But the view here is just absolutely incredible. So, I went double windows. Can you blame me? It's just so gorgeous. That stuff, not as much of a good view. But, you know, that was intentional. But this view from the kitchen is crazy view. Just maximum vibe. Maximum chill. Okay, so let's toss in some glass. Because I know that we can make some pots. Organic resin and water. I'm probably going to go with the smallest profile of a pot as possible. So let's grab some organic resin. Now I'll pull out my water bottle. Let's do 2 of these for now and see what that looks like. I've played around with some of these pots and I think the smaller profile pots probably look the best in my opinion. That's just personal preference though, obviously. And then we'll get the bird feeder going. I think I want to do that out here. We have a couple variants. There's one that's on the wall. I think that's kind of adorable. That is so damn cute. My gosh, that looks great. And then I can probably toss the resin into here for now. I wouldn't mind a bookshelf. Is there a homestead version? Cabinet, homestead cabinet, large. Let's see what this looks like. Refined wood and copper nails. Copper nails. Let's pull out some copper. Make us some nails. I'll probably just turn all of that into nails, to be honest. And I know I've got some in here as well, so I'll just steal half of that for now. And see what this looks like. I'm hoping it's not too big. It looks like it would be pretty large. Let's do the rocking chair. And a couple of these vintage jars. And we'll stack that. I can just do one. Probably the iron. Let's grab another stack of iron. Oh, not that many. I'll just make 3 of them for now. Okay, so let's grab the cabinet, rocking chair, the 2 pots, and then our 3 jars. And let's add that to our space as well. I'm kind of thinking this wall is a good candidate. It's not sticking out too terribly far that it's in the way. I don't know, chat. I might move that. I might move that because that feels like it's sticking out too far. I think if it's not too terribly wide, it might be okay on this wall. I don't like it. Nope, I don't like it. I'm moving it. I don't think it'll fit there on that wall. It might be okay right there, but it's too tall. It's going to block our fish display. So I'm going to have to put it where it makes the only sense, which is right here. I might move that. I don't know yet. I'm not married to that idea. Excuse me. But I might just move that. And I think the rocking chair just makes sense to put it right here. That way I can sit down and enjoy this epic view. That looks good. Can I get a... It won't let me go into camera mode. I didn't know that. So when you're sitting down, you actually can't go into camera mode. Interesting. Shame that. Maybe I'll just get a picture of me standing here next to the rocking chair. How about that? Little bird feeder going. Just drop it down a little bit. There we go. Selfie. That might be going on Instagram later. Okay. Our pots. I think... I think I'm going to put them right here, centered around the door. And then we'll get some cute flowers in there. Yeah, that looks good. I think I want some purple flowers. Add some nice color to the stone there. What does that require? Fiber and tree sap. Let's do 2 of those and just see how it looks. Honestly, if it doesn't look good, I can always change them out. But I think some color there in that space would look really good. And I think, if I'm not crazy, I actually thought that this had a variant. 4 variants. What colors though? So kind of pink, green. There's like that traditional clay look like you see now. And then there's blue. Kind of curious to see what green looks like. Let's try that on for size. Actually though, that looks good. I am really happy with that. Yeah. That looks good. I like it. I dig. get our purple flowers in there. Looks like lavender. Yeah, let's close that door. Get a better view. Yeah, they added some nice color. I like that. Really pops. Okay, our jars. I'm thinking if it will let us. That's pretty adorable. Let's try this. Let's do that right there. Can we do like peaches? Like a cute little jar of peaches maybe? Right there. And then like a big jar of something. Mystery jar. It doesn't like that I'm putting it on the back of the sink at all. Might have to do a shelf up there. But I do have a shelf over here and I've got the nightstand, so let's do that there as well. It's looking pretty cozy in here. This is looking good. I like that. Let's turn off the lantern. So this space back here is really dark. I need to do something about that. I'm thinking best course of action is to probably put a shelf of some kind, but it needs to be a smaller profile. Or I do hanging lights. Let's do that. Okay, we need gold. Do I have any gold left? I do. I have quite a bit of it actually. Let's do those hanging lights because that's going to look good. Beeswax. I don't know. You need honeycomb for that. I think I have one in my inventory. Let's drop it down. If I'm not crazy, yep, I have one in my inventory. For occasions specifically like this. It's super handy. I think you need... Is it 10 or 15? I can't remember the recipe, but I know you need honeycomb. It might be 15. I think it's refined wood and honeycomb. Let's find out. Is that too dark for you guys? How's that looking? I can get the lantern on. Let's see. We have refined wood in there. Let's scroll down a bit. Right here. Refined wood, 10 honeycomb, and 25 copper nails. That's what it requires. Ooh, we are out of space there. Can I try that again? There we go. Let's sort that. That's looking a little better. Our inventory is looking crowded AF. So let's get copper, gold, copper. We got a few crafted items to put out. And then let's get our beehive down so we can start crafting beeswax sooner rather than later. I think since our garden's going to be on that side, it probably makes the most sense to put our beehive down here. So I'm going to get this guy, temporarily at least, right here. We'll get some bees going. I can probably toss a queen bee in there for now, and then we'll do a worker bee. I'll save the other queen bee for breeding bees. We're probably going to need to lean on that pretty heavily. And then let's get some of this other stuff put up. So in this space, this is the workshop, of course. I want to swap this door, the aluminum door. I want it to open that way. Yep. Right there's my drop ship. I'm going to start putting things in that later for missions. So I can just take that everywhere we go with us. Okay, we got the honeycomb being made right now. I think I could shift focus to garden, but let's just finish what we have on us in here first. This space is really starting to look super homey. We can destroy that. We got some extra honeycomb, so let's go ahead and make that into beeswax now. Because that's what the recipe calls for. And then I have some things to put up, like the spinning wheel. Wow, that is actually a lot taller than I thought it was going to be honest. And I put it here, as close to the wall as possible. Oh, you can actually... Oh. Adorable. We can leave that off. I want to put this next to the kitchen area. Absolutely incredible. It's so cute. Look at this. The homestead pack, guys. I'm not sponsored, but this thing is worth every penny. Let's get up here. Can I jump? There we go. We're gonna swap out this copper lightning rod. This thing actually needs to be repaired first. There we go. I'm gonna swap this out for the platinum lightning rod, because very soon, I believe, I will have electricity. And so that not only provides a wider radius of protection, but it will also harness the power that comes from those lightning strikes. Let me just jump down here. Okay. I really want to do those two lights in that back corner. So it calls for gold and beeswax, 4. And I have 6. How many more are about to be made? 2. We can make exactly 2. That's perfect. Because I think any light on that back wall is going to be very helpful. Because that spot is really dark right now. So that's going to take a few seconds. A few more seconds on the beeswax anyway. Let me toss my steel bloom in here. And I think I'm going to toss this copper lightning rod onto this workshop right here. I'm not thinking I'll be needing to harvest any kind of power, but this structure does need protection. So that's good. And then for this space down here, I think the terrace garden idea sounds really good. So for that, let me get a few stone pieces together. I don't think there's like a wall, like any kind of wall flower, wall gardening option. So I'm going to have to kind of be crafty about how I do this. I'm not sure that that serves any utility, but it will look good. And this is something, like I said, I've never done before. I'm just kind of allowing this space to be its own living, breathing environment. I want it to kind of be unique and immersive and feel lived in. So anything I can do to kind of help facilitate that is just going to add character. So let's get these wall candles up. I'm thinking if I center it on these beams, it'll look good. I could be wrong. Let's give that a whirl. And I've got tons of animal fat. Let's toss that in. And let me shut off the lantern so you guys can get a better idea of the ambience that brings in. I wonder how dark that is for you guys. Not terribly dark, but not terribly lit either. So I'll probably add 2 lights in this space and call it good. I feel like 1 even would be fine. I just don't want to chuck a bunch of like any of the electronics. I think I want to save for the workshop. I really want this space to feel like very homestead, very like cabin-esque, cabin core vibes. And I feel like so far it looks pretty damn good. I could even add like a lantern back there. I want to say that that was in here in the fabricator. That's not it. That's it. Epoxy and animal fat. Pretty sure I have that. There's the epoxy. Let's grab some of that animal fat. Toss those in. It's pretty far down here, I believe. There we go. Can I make 2 of those? I can. I'm gonna do it. And then, man, I guess the biofuel stove is the only thing that makes sense in that space. So I'm gonna move this to the other side of the spinning wheel. And then we'll make a bit of room for that biofuel stove. Because genuinely, while I hate the biofuel stove because it feels like it runs out too fast, I just don't want to do the electric stove. And we are basically ready to start crafting some of these electronics. Like, I am seeing a ton of these electronics that are ready to be made. The real question is do we have what we need to make a couple of these batteries? We do. So I'll make 2 of those. And I'll stick it in that trapdoor area down here. So this is where I'm going to hide all the ugly stuff. All the stuff I don't want exposed. And I think it would be nice to put a weather vane right here at the front. That's going to be kind of adorable. Let's do right there. Can I turn it like so? Nice. Let's see how that looks. That looks good. Yeah, it's funny to me that like just a few items really transforms the front of this space. That looks good. I'm pretty happy with that. This is really starting to come together. So I don't have the electricity tool. I'm gonna have to craft that. Carbon fiber, I'm pretty sure I have. Let's toss that in. There's the electric tool. And then for passive energy collection, honestly, probably gonna go with the windmill. We do need a bit more carbon fiber though. And then we've got aluminum for days. We're good in that regard. We could probably do the electric water pump and just hide that somewhere clever. Probably under our terrace garden. But there's our electricity tool. For the windmill itself, we're just going to need that carbon fiber. And for that we need silica, more epoxy. I'm pretty sure I have silica in here. So I'll get that going. That's a good amount. I'm going to hide these batteries. I'm hoping they can just fit in here. Ooh. Okay, I'm going to have to be a little clever about how I place these. If I can place 2 of them side by side, I think they'll fit. Ooh. Maybe. Maybe not. Can I turn this one sideways? I'm gonna have to. If I do like that back corner and then just slightly turn it, it doesn't have to look pretty. It just needs to fit. That's kind of why I'm hiding it down here. Almost. Oh. No way. It doesn't look pretty, but it does work. And that's all it needs to be. It just needs to work. And then we're going to route power to that lightning rod. Because that next lightning storm that comes through, we can harness all of that energy. Can I stretch that to the back? And I'm thinking We can probably route up the side wall. We're never going to see back here. And that is the idea. That works. Okay. All we have to hope for now is a nice lightning storm to come through. And we'll have power. Wow. I can't believe that this is happening. It's so funny how fast this space ties in together. Okay, so biofuel stove. Probably more of the aesthetic than anything else than utility. Because to be honest, I'm not a huge fan. Like, it's tricky because when you're cooking, you often will run out of biofuel before you're even done cooking your recipe, so let's toss that in though. Get some carbon fiber made up. And then this lantern I thought would be clever to place up here. Turn that on. And then this guy probably somewhere up here. Add a bit more ambient light. It's gonna let me put it up here. Still got animal fat. Let's do 10 in there, turn that on. 10 in here and turn that on. Okay. So that light definitely helps in the space. This corner is still quite dark. I need to figure out what to do with that. I wonder if I could center a nightstand on either side. Or even like a small bookshelf and just put like a lantern or some kind of light on there. I feel like this is going to stick out too far. I could try a wall shelf. Move that back there. I just want like a tiny bit more light in that space. So I feel like it would look a lot better. Let's do a candle. So we can craft sticks. And I've got animal fat. Let's do one of those. Let's see how that looks. I'm really hoping it's just like just enough ambient light that we need to make this space feel like well lit. Let's try that. Oh my gosh, that's perfect. That is perfect. That looks so good. I'll get a wall shelf or maybe more of those wall candles. I think that would be good. Gold and beeswax. So we'll wait on the beeswax, but I think we have enough for the terrace. Do we want to use any walls? I'll bring some walls just in case we decide to use that. So I've never built a terrace for the purpose of like gardening. So I'm going to kind of play with this a little bit. But I do think extending it behind the wall. Kind of do down. Let's do another 4-piece in here. Because my thought is to put it here. And then this space right here is like kind of the garden area. So we can do a couple of plants or planters up top. And then a couple crop plots down here as well. And I think that space would look like kind of just a cute garden terrace area. That's the goal. So let's see if I can drop these down. Can I hide this at all? There we go. Oh, right there. That's facing the wrong way. There we go. Okay, that ties in very well. I do want to hide the underneath of the house as well. Perfect. It's like a continuous run of stone, which is exactly the look I wanted to go for. So I could extend out that way as well. Because the porch area is going to be up here. And that extends basically all the way back. It almost makes sense to put one here. But if I do that, it kind of ruins the terrace look I'm trying to go for. There we go. Okay. There's our terraced garden area. Now we just need some crop plots. I think I have some that resist tier 8 storms. Tier 5 storms. It's a good thing we're playing on normal mode and not hard mode. I do have a shovel as well. Bring those down. I also built the dock slightly underwater. There isn't really a rhyme or reason. It's just where this ended up at. And so it doesn't bother me at all. I also didn't go completely onto land because I didn't want the animals using it to get up by me. So I left it like this for a reason. They won't be able to jump on it. So it does serve a lot of utility, ironically. But that wasn't intentional. That wasn't genius. It was just letting the space be and do its own thing. So we can deliver that back to station. And then for this stuff, I'm going to be using this on our newly built terrace. So I'm really hoping to make this space make sense. For that to happen, I almost think butting it up against the wall there for a couple of those, and then bringing it around the front of this corner here would make a lot of sense. Now, have these plots come back this way as well. So in total there'd be 6 of those crop plots. And then I'm going to end up having to move the beehive eventually. But I think that space will look good. I do have some plants to start. I want the soybean, and I think berries would be a good idea as well. Let's go grab some berries. We could do some tea. Here's some yeast. So the yeast is good for making different drinks. Wow, those purple flowers really pop, especially in like low light. Let's go ahead and get this ready to sleep. So I'm thinking the soybeans are a little bit taller. So all the tall stuff we can put in this back corner area here. I'll do 2 soybeans for now. And then I think the yeast will go here. And our berries here. And I think that's going to look good. We'll know more once it starts to pop. The berries might be too tall there. We'll see. Okay, I'm going to toss the seeds, for now at least, into here. We can toss our 4 pieces back inside. We don't need those anytime soon. And our shovel, I want to save that. That up. We can get rid of the stone. Get rid of the fiber. Just craft some rope. Oh. Tree sap we can toss back in here. We can craft more tree sap. make more epoxy. Okay. Now it's time to shift focus on crafting. So I do need a portable beacon for the iron deposit that we find. I think the electric water pump's going to make the most sense, so I'm going to craft that. Got a couple batteries going, so we'll have the electricity we need. A flow meter would be smart. I just don't want to see it down here in this space. I'm going to build the electrolytic oxygen synthesizer later. And I do want a light for inside of the homestead base we have here. So I'll craft one of those. Then I'm going to need a couple of frosted lights for the workshop. That we're going to need more iron though. Let's go ahead and start moving some of this stuff around here. I'm going to keep this iron on me for just the time being. So I think I'm going to craft a few more items that are going to need it. The contact radio would be really nice. Portable biofuel generator will be good. I think I'm going to make 4 of these actually. I want that workshop to be just like really well lit. Okay, so that's a good start. Alright, biofuel generator, water pump, cage light for here, frosted light for the workshop, portable beacon for the iron deep ore deposit that we need to find, contact radio for missions, and I'm going to drop that into my sack pouch. And then this light, I want to be centered inside of the base, because I don't want it to be too bright. I don't want it to like detract from the candles. I think for me that's going to be a really big part of this space, is I want it to feel like it's not too industrial. I don't want a ton of artificial light. I just need it to be well lit of a space that it works. So now the question that I've been mulling over this entire time since building that generator is, where do I put it? It's not going to fit in here. Typically this is where I put it. I put it down here. I could move the batteries. What if I put it in the workshop? I could also put it down there. Oh, no way. I almost got stuck. Okay. Is there enough space to put it under here? That would make sense. I don't think so. I think it'd make the most sense just putting it in the workshop. I can put it right here in the corner. That would work. Especially for now. Till I find a better home of permanence. So I would really, really like to hide this somehow. Let me see if I can break these floors up a little bit and stick it underneath the floors, because the floors are a tiny bit higher. But I think this would work. I could route power under the stairs. I just don't want to see the wires. So like that. Like that. Can I angle that on either side? That works. And I'm never going to be back here. Perfect. me get those floor pieces back out. Cover up this wire. Yeah. It's like it doesn't even exist. That is so perfect. And then until our next lightning storm comes through, I will be able to charge up these batteries using the biofuel. And we have 3 of these cans, so they are all full. We might as well take advantage of it. So in theory, we're going to have power. Okay, so while that's charging, I'm going to go ahead and start plotting out where to put these lights. I think one on either side makes a lot of sense. And then I think I want to put one kind of on the center wall. Wow. Yeah, these took a little bit of damage from that last tier 5 storm that rolled through, which I was a little bit surprised to see. But technically storms can upgrade one tier up or down. I guess upgrade or downgrade a tier up or down. So if I center this on the wall here, would that look absolutely ridiculous? Or is this going to work? Yeah, I think that works. This space is going to be incredibly well lit, which I don't mind because it is an industrial area. So that doesn't bother me much at all. And because I'm extremely particular about how I run these lights, I'm going to start up top. And we're going to run everything down and behind the base, essentially. So everything's going to come down here. I'm going to route this to the center. It's our centerpiece. And then down, back behind here somehow. Let me take this run all the way through the corner. I don't like to use the P word when base building, but this doesn't look pretty damn perfect in my opinion. I don't want to be able to see it though. I have to figure out a more clever way to hide that. If I come around the corner and just straight down. Nope. Our lantern just ran out. It's so spooky when it's dark. Let's go ahead and recharge that. Let's sleep the night away. The sunlight back on our side. So, tackling the wire issue. I just don't want to see it. The last thing I want is like a bunch of wires exposed. Okay, so that's 2 lights. It's about center of the floor. So that's those lights. I suppose... Gosh, there isn't really a good way to do that, is there? What if I run it through the inside? Okay, hang on. We are going to need power in here anyway. Bit of an eyesore. You know? I'm not mad about it. It works. And works is good enough. Get the last light to tie in and all the lights will be connected to power. Just go up to the top there. Make it look as centered as possible. That is not a lightning rod that receives power. I kept thinking for some reason that it was. Let's do here. If I do that, it sticks through the ceiling. If I do this, it also sticks through the ceiling. Make it make sense. I don't know why it's doing that. Oh, that works. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Okay, all of our lights are connected. That took an eternity, is what it felt like for me. Let's take a look. Oh. Is that not wired up? It's not. But it is now. What is it? This is so finicky. It's basically attaching to the piece that's in the ceiling instead of up top. I don't know why it's doing that. There we go. A little bit might be showing through the ceiling, but that's okay. There we go. It's connected. Yeah, you can definitely see those wires. That's hilarious. And if I did this correctly, that's also wired. So this is what the space now looks like with just one light and all of our candles. I am a huge fan. It doesn't look too bright. It doesn't wash out the space with white light. It looks good. I'm pretty happy with that. Well, the only thing this space needs now I can't even think of what it needs. Probably to empty out these crafting stations and get them downstairs in the workshop. It needs a couch. It needs a lazy boy looking couch. We do not have that. I'm breaking my rules here. They're my rules to break. Windmill. Steel screw. Steel. Okay, so if my calculations are correct, I want to say we can get at least one, potentially two. Yep. And this will basically power the base for forever. We will never be without power. These two wind turbines are the powerhouse of the base. And then once we hook up this electric water pump, we will have infinite water supply forever. So we literally hit the turning point in our base homestead, which is kind of crazy to think. That is so wild. Okay. We could move this stuff downstairs to the workshop. But yeah, it hit me like a freight train. All this space really needs now is like a nice cozy armchair. I could probably put that in front of the window too. Right there. The only problem is I don't have wool. So that means animal husbandry. Let's do the concrete furnace in here. And then our electric water pump, I kind of want it to be hidden. The only way I could think to do that is if we put it back here in the water. Does it have to be visible though? Might have to build a like a water pump box basically to hide it. I would really, really like to be able to put it right there. Is there any variation of the water pump in here that works. I would really like that. I just want this thing to be hidden. I don't want it to be visible. I feel like it's such an eyesore sometimes to see it. It doesn't look like there's a variation that's gonna work. And it's like on top of the water too, which is somehow worse. I'm gonna have to build a box for it probably. So it does fit there, but only right there. It's so weird. What if I move this? I could extend that out a little bit. I wouldn't mind, but it would still be hidden. Oh! No way. Tell me this works, please. Stairs? That is awful. That does not work at all. So that means I have to push it out one. I could do it here. I just have to hide it better. Yeah, you can see it sticking to the floor. That's hilarious. It doesn't affect you walking on it, but I'm not going to do that. I won't. But I do need a 4-piece. I think one ramp still works in theory. So we'd basically be starting this one piece later. So out one, down one, and that still works. See, it's not the end of the world. And it's technically hidden. So I can have my cake and eat it too. I'm okay with that. Oh, wrong one. Okay, so now I just need to cleverly route this up and out of the way so it's still hidden. I'm going to kind of piggyback the way I have the electricity going under the house. I'm going to kind of tuck this down. I'm stuck. Whoa. That was a pretty drastic unstuck. It would probably make the most sense to like tuck it in underneath the stairs so it's still not visible. And then route it up the same way I did the power. Right behind the house. How far can I go? Oh, my head's through the floor. That was kind of wild. If I could just look that way, that'd be great. Okay, that works. This part's probably my least favorite part about these base builds, but pretty unavoidable. Oh boy. That works. Okay, so in theory, if we route power the exact same way, these barrels are going to start filling. And we will have a permanent supply of water to the base. Is it on? It's on. We have a permanent supply of water to the base. Oh my gosh. I know that's like not uncommon, but the fact that that's now where it's at. We're charging the batteries. We're filling the barrels. Yep. So we have running water. Crazy. Wow. Man. That is so huge. Guys, I'm so stoked with that progress. Like, the relief that I feel right now is, like, kind of insane. Okay. So, recap. We went fishing in the desert. Fought a world boss. Accidentally ran into him. Destroyed the world boss. Brought back exotics. Mined exotics in the desert. Brought those back. We've completely tied together this space and transformed the way it looks. It is incredibly cozy, incredibly gorgeous. We've got a garden put in, our creature deterrent, electricity, water, a functional space for the workshop, and now infinite power. Get this windmill up. We will never have to worry about power ever again. It might actually be better served here. Unobstructed. Okay, and we can basically shut off that generator. Only use it for emergencies, storms, that type of thing. Absolutely crazy progress. I am so stoked. I honestly couldn't have asked for more. It'd be kind of selfish if I did. So I'm gonna move this lightning rod to the other end. Back here. And then I'm gonna put the wind turbine here at the front. And then connect that to power as well. And we'll just have passive collection of electricity. We'll never be without power again. Let's go ahead and power this guy off. We got some biofuel left. We'll be fine. Guys, I think that will tie up today's episode. I know that this was a longer form stream, but I was honestly going to be playing anyway. And I'm honestly going to be playing after this. So I thought I'd just run the camera for you guys, and hopefully it was somewhat educational, and if nothing else, absolutely entertaining for you guys to watch. But yeah, the homestead is really coming together now. I'm absolutely stoked with that progress. Like, I think this space just makes me happy. Like, I'm pretty pleased with how this turned out. It looks really good. The candles are a good touch. The decorations really brought the space together, and it's starting to feel more like a home than just a place to survive the night, especially with that view out the window. Oh, that makes me happy. Well, guys, that's going to wrap up the stream. Hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, this is AOR. Thank you guys for joining me tonight. For those of you watching, I am going to be closing the stream. So thanks for hanging out with me tonight. If you like this sort of thing, make sure to give this a like. If you want to see more, subscribe. It's free for you guys. Definitely helps to build the channel. Until next time, peace out, guys. You guys are still here. I'm leaving now. Love you. Bye-bye.